California's Governor Gavin Newsom, on again, off again shutdown orders are adding fuel to the recall effort against him. The group Rescue California says it has more than half of the petition signatures needed to put a recall on the ballot. Anne Dunsmore is the campaign manager and finance director of Rescue California, which is a Republican group. Good morning to you, Anne.
Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. Tell us more about the recall efforts.
Well, it's probably one of the most important efforts I've worked on in over 40 years of campaign efforts. The citizen movement on this is really something to see, and you have to see it to believe it. So I'd say they've got probably 2,000 to 3,000 at a minimum active volunteers on the ground in California, and that's really what started this. They started actually 2 petitions ago. So this third effort is really the result of all the good work and the building blocks for this eventual victory.
What is Rescue California?
Rescue California is sort of an auxiliary group. We've been sort of referred to as the cavalry on this. Mm-hmm. The original petitioners are an incredibly strong group of volunteers that started this effort in February and actually got on the ground in June, collecting signatures. Mm-hmm. So what we've done is organize a Republican effort specifically because of the victories that we appreciated in California in November with about a quarter of the nationwide take-back seats in the U.S. House of Representatives came from California. Right. And a number of ballot propositions went in our favor as well.
Well, Anne, what does the governor say? I mean, because I understand he doesn't want people to die from COVID or get COVID and fill up the hospitals. No one wants that. But you have to factor in the people who are going to lose their jobs. The economy is going to tank. You're going to put businesses, he's going to make them go bankrupt. And then he has to also think about the election and for Democrats and the future of, I mean, of course, He loves the Democratic Party. He's a Democrat, so he has to think about that too, and re-election campaigns and things like that for his friends in the party. So what's his explanation for this? Why close indoor and outdoor?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of contradictions out there, and I think that's his Achilles heel. And you speak about it. He's going to put businesses out. He's going to be putting mom and pop businesses out of business. He already has. And those that have slightly survived this turmoil are fleeing the state, and even the corporate giants are leaving. It's not sustainable. It's going to end up hurting his tax base is basically being obliterated, and he's being pulled in a lot of different directions. And I think what you're starting to see is that the left, that he's being pulled by the left very far to the left, and it's not working for him.
Yeah, we're seeing it in our state too, and it's devastating.
Yes.
Because I'm sure you love California as much as I love New York. Thanks so much, Anne, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.